Now, one might ask, how is ChatGPT different from Google? Which essentially the question is that how are large language models such as ChatGPT different than search engine models such as Google? So on one hand, Google is a search tool that helps us find information on the web by providing us the relevant links from where that information is stored. On the other hand, ChatGPT is a conversational tool. It helps you to find and ask the right questions. And based on those questions, it synthesizes large amounts of information very, very specific to our needs. So extremely personalized versus Google. Now, the main differences between these models can be categorized in three different categories. First of all, the input. For ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT what the question should be that you should be asking, if that makes sense. Essentially, you can prompt it or ask it a question about anything and build it up in a conversational style. Even if you ask something wrong, you can correct it again over in your follow-up prompts. But that's very different from how a search engine works. Google only accepts a one-time input of a basic text query. And based on that query, it goes through the internet and finds you the relevant links for that search result. Next, the purpose. Google's purpose is very simple. Find the most relevant and authoritative domain links for that specific search. While on the other hand, ChatGPT offers a very personalized, synthesized content specifically to my needs. For example, if I'm looking for 10 best places to stay at in, let's say, San Francisco, ChatGPT will give me a list of 10 different places that I can stay at based on its own trained data. Whereas the Google will provide me link to blogs that will have those 10 best places. And lastly, the output. While the Google's output is stagnant in the sense that it will always give you the output in terms of domain links, ChatGPT's output can be very dynamic. I can ask it to provide me a one-word answer versus a long essay or a blog versus table format or even to write code for me. So these are the essential differences between large language models and search engines, and that really clearly helps us understand the power of ChatGPT over Google and how it is a better tool to use. Now, at the moment, ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. So we're going to use a hybrid version that combines the two together, a large language model with search engine capability, launched by Microsoft called Bing, which we will cover in the next lecture. So ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. It has a knowledge cutoff date. And if I ask ChatGPT what the knowledge cutoff date is, it's going to say September 2021. So anything that was on the internet up to September 2021 is something that ChatGPT knows, but anything after that, it wouldn't. So how do we play with ChatGPT when we want to work with the latest data? What OpenAI did was, specifically for Plus members, it added a new plugin here about a month or two ago, which was called Bing AI, which was essentially a Microsoft tool of search engine tool connected with ChatGPT. But they have taken it down here. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back pretty soon and you will have the functionality here. But for now, I wanted to cover Bing AI. The other way you can use the tool is from an Edge browser. So Edge is the new form of Internet Explorer. You will need to download Edge browser first, and then on the right top side, you will see this button called Bing for B. And this opens up the interface for Bing AI. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that to access Bing, you need a Microsoft account. Your Gmail account cannot be used to sign up for Bing. So please make sure that you create a Microsoft account first, such as hotmail.com, and then use that to access Bing AI. They also have a mobile app version for it, which is extremely amazing. And now it's my go-to tool for all searches. And I never open Google anymore because this is so much more powerful. In the next lecture, I'll show you some few basic queries and give a brief walkthrough of the interface of Bing AI. In this lecture, let's explore the Bing AI interface and when to use what. First of all, you'll see there are three different options here. The first two are of importance to us. The first one is chat and the second one is compose. Going back to chat, you have three options here: more creative, balanced, and more precise. So if I want to write something fictional like a storybook, then more creative would make more sense because I want the model to act uh, as a creative and give me unique, curious ideas. On the other hand, if I'm working with factual data and I want it to be very, very precise in its answers, I would prefer working with a more precise model. So just the basic three different options are available. Usually balanced works out the best. And now I can ask it any question. For example, I can say, could you provide me with latest news for today? Now, since I'm based in North America, it gave me three news specific to me. It told me about the wildfires that are happening. It told me about the Premier Doug Ford, who's the Premier for Ontario, and then something about the British nurses. Now, if you explore the AI a bit, there are a couple of options we have. So if I want to copy something, I can just click the button copy here. If I want, I can copy the answer as well. I can give it a good feedback and I can say dislike it by saying that okay, it wasn't up to my standards, or I can export it and it allows me to export as Word, PDF, or a text file. The button here at the bottom allows you to start a new conversation. So every conversation will have 30 follow-up questions allowed. When you're using Bing, you have 30 follow-up questions left. After 30, you will have to start a new topic. Now I'm going to ask a different question. So I'm just going to click here and start a new topic. So I got this article from the internet that I've opened on Edge that says 10 of the best Shopify plugins for optimizing your e-commerce store. So if I'm working with live data from the internet, I know I cannot paste this article link into ChatGPT, even if it understands it. Because it's not connected to the internet, it won't know what's there in the article. It might give us an output, but that could be hallucinations and ChatGPT lying for us. So the best way to do that would be to work with Bing. So I can just copy paste the article link here and ask Bing, please summarize this for me. And Bing will do the job. And then I can take this output and plug it into my ChatGPT if that's what I want to do. And now you see it exactly did what I was asking for it. I found a blog post on drip.com that lists 10 of the best Shopify plugins for optimizing your e-commerce business. The plugins are especially helpful and can be used to increase customer engagement. And it literally summarized all the in a bullet point list of all the plugins that were there. Now, if I want, I have 29 questions left. I can ask it, okay, can you write me a 3-line description for each plugin? Can you tell me the price of each plugin? Now, when I've collected the information in a summarized way that I want to work with, I can just copy paste this, take this to ChatGPT, and then start working from there and building up from there by creating more synthesized content. Now let's explore the compose function within the Bing AI. So what I did here was I'm going to copy the content that we got in our last post in Bing AI, where we asked Bing to basically summarize this article for us with the 10 best Shopify plugins for optimizing your e-commerce store. Now, if I go to Bing, it allows me to do a couple of different things. So let's say first it asks me, what is the message I want to write? For example, a happy anniversary message to my mom. So I can just paste here the content that we got from the Bing AI in the previous chat, because this is the content of my email, and I'm going to say, write it for my brother who is starting a new Shopify store. So I provided some context here. I told Bing that, okay, my brother is going to be starting a new Shopify store. So let's send him this information about all the best 10 plugins on Shopify for optimizing e-commerce businesses so that he can use them in the way he wants. Now you can choose the tone of that you want, for example, casual, enthusiastic, informational, funny, or you can add something else if you want. So I can say humor, for instance, and it will add it for me. I'm going to choose professional for this purpose. Now it could be a paragraph, email, blog post, or ideas. Right now, it's sending an email to my brother about the 10 best Shopify plugins for optimizing his e-commerce store. The length I will keep to short, and now if I click on generate draft, it will start writing. So hi brother, I came across this useful plugin post on Drip.com that recommends 10 of the best Shopify plugins for improving your e-commerce store. These plugins are very effective and help you boost customer engagement, increase sales, and generate revenue. Here are the plugins mentioned in the post, and it walks it through the list of the plugins. I hope this email finds. I hope this helps you with your new Shopify store because I provided context here that my brother is starting a new Shopify store. It added this line in the email. So a very good, strong, powerful tool on the side with ChatGPT. Of course, we can do all these things with ChatGPT as well, and we're going to start exploring them in the next section. But I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of how this could be done from the Bing AI as well, using this tool as well with latest information from the internet. Essentially, in this example, I got the latest information about Shopify plugins from the internet. I fed it back into Bing and I made it into a structured professional email to be sent to my brother who's starting a new Shopify store.